episode of OAS15 podcast. I'm Belle right here. So, as a student, you're more than familiar with stress, whether it's finances, academic strain, or pressure from family, friends, and peers. And you're not alone. So, in today's episode, we're going to talk about academic stress and anxiety. And we are going to tell you how we deal with stress as a student. But firstly, let's welcome our guest for today. Come on, let's introduce ourselves.
Okay, hello guys, I'm Ming. You can call me Jack as well.
Hi, Ming.
Hi Belle, hi Ming, and hello everyone. My name is Chun, and thank you so much for having me on this podcast. It is my honor to be here. I watched the previous podcast and I really like the presentations of you guys deliver. It's so beneficial to all of us.
Yeah, it's my honor to invite you today. So, firstly, if you're going to rate your stress level right now on a scale of 1 to 10, what will you rate your current stress level for now?
Just around 5 to 6,
5 to 6
somewhere there. I think for me
it's
overall, I still it's moderate. I still can manage not too bad. I still can manage the incoming pressures and stress throughout this whole e-learning experience. I think it's okay for me. How about you, Ming Jie?
For me, I'm the same lah. For me, maybe
moderate?
Like half, like level 5, yeah. But I think like at the start of the release of this recording for the MMU students, we are already out of our midterm break and our assignment deadlines is slowly creeping up. So I think it's already increasing for me.
Yeah, around 5 to 7 is not too bad. We need a moderate level of stress to enable us to perform better lah, in this case, yeah. Okay, you can also do this type of stress level tests weekly, monthly, or even daily basis whenever you find most helpful for you lah. You can set up a skill in any number of ways. I prefer to think like 1 to 3 as a healthy level of stress, right? So maybe 4 to 7, you start to have a problem, but that's fine also. But if it's 8 to 10, which means it's a very serious problem. So
you start searching out for help or something when you reach 8 and above.
Yeah. So remember that this rating scale does not fix your problem. They will only help you become more aware of the presence and seriousness of the problem. So move on for today. We'll start by answering questions from our followers from Instagram first. So what are the things that make you feel stressful and the way we manage our stress?
You know what, Belle? I think I should ask you that question because in previous episode I watched all of them and I think barely anyone asked you any question. So why don't I ask you this question this round? So what are the things that actually make you feel stressful and how do you actually manage it?
For me, it's when I notice that I'm pushing myself and keep rushing myself to meet the deadline of every single assignment. I always wanted to constantly to be fast and want to get things done as fast as possible. So
you won't have to worry about like what's the deadline coming, when's the deadline coming, right? Something like that.
Yeah. So I always think I'm not doing good enough. I want to do more or contribute more to the assignment as a group work. That's when the time I will stress myself out. But I think that is a good stress for me. At least I know I will keep on improving. Although I'm still not good enough, but at the same time, I'm still trying hard and doing my best. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very good sense of way that, most of us can motivate ourselves, use this stress to, motivate us to try to strive for a better result. But I think overly committed and overly stress ourselves is actually not bad because in a group assignment, right, the meaning of group assignment is actually we try to utilize the amount of team members in our team to actually make the dreams work. As the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. So try to actually co-op with other teammates, and I think that will make the result even more smoothly and also will come out even better result.
Yeah, like group work is supposed to be like everyone, you are expected to everyone to pull their own weight into like finish one goal together, something.
But it's still good to actually push yourself in any assignment, group assignment. I think it's quite good too. I think it's not a bad thing. But actually, personally, for me, I think what actually make me feel very how to say, very pressure and very stress is the non-stop coming assignment. Like
Yeah.
somewhere around like week 3 or week 4, and then the assignment will just keep on bombarding my my weekly
Assignment
schedule,
and test at the
making
same time.
yeah.
Also, yeah.
Assignment,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the biggest problem. Assignment and test at the same time. It's just hard to sometimes it's just hard to catch my breath, but I still can manage it. Overall, I think I still can manage it quite well. So yeah.
How about virtual
Yeah,
learning? Do you
sometimes
find
like
it's quite hard for you to actually cope with virtual learning?
for me, virtual learning, like there's some pros and cons, but obviously like if you are studying at home, we know for me lah, because I study at like my bedroom, so like it's very hard to focus on what teachers were talking about because like my environment is very relaxed and I don't
Yeah.
have the sense
Too
of
relaxing.
like urgency when I'm like attending the class for online.
I can
Yeah.
totally relate to that because of the overall the environment that we are studying right now is actually not really suitable for concentrating the assignments or the workloads. It's just very hard to concentrate.
Yeah.
Mm.
So back to the question, how do you manage your stress personally? Like how do you?
Well, for me,
Um,
I think I will. Firstly, I will actually plan my schedule carefully so that I won't have any there won't be any sudden changes or sudden difficulties happen, and then I can't handle it. So I think planning is one of the one of the most crucial key to make everything run smoothly. So other than that, you can also like do the things that we like for example, play some games during our free time, leisure time, and listen to the music that we like. How about you,
Yeah.
Mingje?
to add on Chun's point, for me, I think like the most important thing like for students to manage our stress is like really to get enough sleep, like at least like 7 to 8 hours. I know like we have like very heavy assignments, we tend to do it until late night, but
Yeah.
at least like give yourself at least like 6 hours of sleep. Next day you wake up, you feel energetic, and when you attend lessons, you can concentrate better. Because like if you have lack of sleep, it's like becoming a vicious cycle. You wake up attending morning class, you can't concentrate, right? And the only time you can see back look back of the recording is like late night, and then you still sleep late again. Then it's go on, and you can't perform well when you are studying.
True. I actually agree with that.
And then
But
for next one, I think like exercise is also very important lah. Like you take some time, at least 10 minutes. If I know like so, now currently it's like MCO 3.0, can't really go out to exercise, but take some time. You can do some workout inside your house,
Yeah. Spend
or
some
you
time with
can
that.
go out
do some yoga, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, true.
Yeah. For me, it's I'm actually quite different from you guys. Like how I cope with my own stress is I'll cry alone. Yeah, true.
Oh,
If you think
There's
that we
actually
often a good way, right?
yeah,
For
there's
me,
actually a
yes,
good
it's
way.
good lah.
I'm not
Mm.
really. I don't really disagree with that. I think there's a really a good way to express our emotions and feelings.
yeah, sometimes
Like
other people will think that we need to stop crying, that it is negative. But for me, it's kind of relieving. Yeah, it's kind of emotional relief for me. Sometimes I will feel that things are bad when I cry, but it could also be viewed as a sign that things are getting better. Like time heals everything, right? The stress feeling will kind of
Yeah,
fade
yeah.
off after some time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like after you release your emotions, then you suddenly you like you feel better. You
Yeah, I
can
feel better in a way.
you get out and you strive better for your results.
Yeah, like you can just choose one
Hmm?
sentimental movies that you watch or a drama that you like. You can always sit down and relax and feel free to cry at it. I think it's not a bad way to express
Yeah, it's a
our.
good way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually a good way.
Yeah,
And
can try
I
that.
think the most helpful way for me is actually having a day off and do nothing literally in that day, just slack off all the day and do nothing and just play
oh,
what we want. I think that's the best way to release the stress. For me personally, I think it works
Mm.
and it helps a lot.
Mhm.
I don't know about others, but I think just take a day off and
Yeah,
don't do
everyone
anything.
have their own way to do it.
Yeah,
it's like you can develop a hobby during your off day, something like that. I
yeah,
guess
find
this
what
also
you like.
helps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Recently, I just picked up drawing, which I never discovered it before.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
yeah.
It's
Because
good though.
I think this is good. Find ourselves, find what we like. Something that we haven't we undiscovered before. I think this is a good way.
Yeah. You have to also find a good way, lah. Everyone has their own way of that.
Yeah, everyone has a
So
good way.
yeah. So back to the question. Another question, like asking from our followers. What should I do if I have a friend who always claim all the credit for assignment for themselves?
This one
Mm.
actually I have a story. I wouldn't say it's completely same as this, but I can relate. It's actually relatable.
Slightly, yeah,
Yeah,
related.
slightly similar. And I think it was like last sem, if I'm not mistaken, I was in the same group with you, Belle.
Yeah,
The
last
I
semester.
forgot the subject. What is it? Computation method, I think. I forgot what is it. I think it's computational method. I think it was last sem where we need to find um, a group of 5 people, right?
Five, yeah, around five.
Yeah, five. I think it's 5 people, 4 to 5 people. So initially, I was actually quite afraid of, I was actually afraid of can't find any group members, can't have a complete squad or complete
Yeah, new
members.
members in our
Yeah,
group.
so I just volunteer myself and speak out loud in the Google meeting chat room. So I
You
asked,
want to find us?
whoever wants to, who wants to join my group. I have like 2 to 3 people vacancies, so feel free to join. So eventually, well, I managed to get the full squad, 5 members, and I was actually happy. And I thought things will turn out well. So I did a little bit of digging. I searched their midterm performance. Yeah, I know it's
Wow.
it's quite inappropriate, but I know because I was a very skeptical person and a very paranoid person. So I did a little bit of dark digging, and I think they did quite well, and surprisingly they did better than me and
Yeah,
well,
their
I shouldn't
result.
say surprisingly, but their result is literally better than me and Belle. Seriously. So I was like, yes, you know what? Yes, I get
Yeah, we are
to,
kind of relieved. Yes, good mate,
yeah, a little
good
bit relieved.
teammate.
Yeah, a good teammate. Finally, a good teammate, and I can, maybe relax a little bit. No need to have
Rush
a very
things.
stressful environment or very stressful circumstance to, work on this assignment. So when the first WhatsApp discussion began, I asked about their rough idea. So I sent a lot of messages in a WhatsApp group and asked, do they have any good ideas? Just a rough idea, not a complete model, just a rough idea will do. And you know what? The chat room was completely dead silent.
Silent.
Like seriously, no one was talking. And then to
No one
fill
was
the
answering
yeah,
anything.
no one was answering. To fill the void, to fill the awkwardness, me and Belle spamming the WhatsApp stickers
What
all around in a WhatsApp group. We were just spamming the WhatsApp stickers to fill the void. And then I think they ignored our messages for like one whole week. So
Yeah,
at
the
that
first
moment,
discussion.
the
One
first
whole
discussion
week.
was one whole week. No one was actually replying my messages or Bell messages. So I was at the moment I was like, oh my god, I need to do something. You know what? I need to do something. This is I think we need to carry this team by ourselves.
Yeah.
So we did our own early part of the beginning part of the assignment.
Like the
Assignment,
draft.
Just a draft only. And then until the second weeks, I asked them again, do they have any
Opinion or
any
anything,
new,
idea.
any new opinion or any new idea? And then they still didn't reply me. And then I gave them a small part to do. And finally, someone replied. That moment was so
After a
funny.
week also, right?
Yeah,
After you
a week,
distribute
yeah,
the work
after
to
I
them.
distributed the work, after a week, I distributed the work, and finally someone replied, and then one of the group members finally accepted my request, and then he started doing his job, and after that he sent me his result, and you know what? Minja, you get it right. It's
Yeah.
actually almost unusable. I would say
Yeah.
almost unusable. It was like they just roughly do it and rushing it. Oh, we were like we had like 5 weeks until the deadline. It was a lot of time, but still they didn't try to sit down and concentrate and try to think of the idea. And then I have to redo what they have done. I have to redo what they have done because their result was like completely or barely unusable. So they were barely usable.
But
And then
also we actually did everything for them, right? Even
and
though
then
their work is not
their
acceptable.
work is not good, and so we don't actually
Wait for them.
ask any efforts from them, because I know that we have to clean up their mess every time they submit their results to us. So I was like, you know what? I rather do it by myself. I wouldn't I wouldn't give them any work to do anymore. So well, actually, it could be worse. It could be they just write their name on the report. But surprisingly, they still did some formatting on the
The
on
report
the report.
formatting.
Yeah, they did a lot, and on the report. But the report is a very easy part of the assignment. Like it just requires one day, then you can actually finish it easily. Seriously, and yeah. So
So what happened after that? Did the lecturer like distribute the marks evenly or?
oh, that's a good question. So
Yeah.
until the day of presentation, so we present our model, and then our lecturer did ask
Did ask
about
us.
the overall contribution and also the overall distribution of the work. And then I let them speak first. Well, actually, not I didn't let them speak first. I was actually quite furious. I was like, I deserve the mark. I'm very ashamed to admit. I was thinking like, I deserve the marks. Me and not deserve
And
the
they
marks.
didn't deserve any.
Yeah, but I also let them speak, and they still come to their senses, and they still are not an completely or entirely selfish person. So they did say that Belle and I did most of the work. We are like 90%. We did 90% of the work. So they agreed, letting us having most of the marks. So yeah, I think it's still a win-win situation for us, and we learn a lot in that process. I mean, because all the efforts are on us, right? So surely we learn a lot of things. We make a lot of mistakes, and then we learn how to fix it. So yeah, we even though it's quite stressful, but still we learn a lot, and then we get higher marks than them. So it's a win-win situation for us.
Yeah, I totally agree with your point. Like, even if they didn't did anything, like you guys did everything by yourself, you learn more. Then maybe after studying, after we go to the workforce, maybe we know better than them and
Yeah,
actually can perform better results.
Yeah, it's true. So coming back to that question, he asked about that person asked about the friend that always claim the credits, right? I think if you really did something, surely you have left behind some documents, right, in your own laptops or something. So by the time of presentation, you know, when lecturer asks you about the contribution or task, you can actually show them your documents, like what are the things that you have done to prove, to justify that you really did something. Like in my case, they actually didn't do anything. So if they claim the credits, if they claim all the credits for themselves, I will actually ask them to explain the things that I've done. Of course, I understand the overall the assignment more clearer than them, right? So I think, yeah, you can actually, keep the document first, all the rough things that you have done along the assignment process, and then at the day of presentation, show it to your lecturer. If your lecturer didn't trust
just
you,
tell them,
try to
tell them to explain what you did.
tell them to explain, try to justify as much and as much as possible. Yeah, I think every lecturer is very rational, so they will actually distribute the marks according to the contribution that you have given.
So move on, we actually asked, giving a poll question on Instagram, asking, are you able to deal with academics matters smoothly? So majority voted not smoothly. So what are the reasons that the people that voted no?
For me, I think that because like we are all learning online and we are starting our new semester, we can't really meet our classmates like in real life. So it's
Yeah,
very hard to communicate with them and to like find group members for your assignment. And that part is harder. And the even harder part is like finding group members that are willingly to contribute, to take effort for completing your assignment together.
Yeah.
And moreover, like what we have talked about just now, like virtual learning, because we are learning at home, our study environment is not ideal, and it's very hard to concentrate what the lecturer is talking about. And then
I actually also agree with Mingje. Like, episode, I think back to episode 1, Sue Ann and Sarah said something about the challenges of the online learning.
online learning.
It's very hard to find, very hard to find group members, right? It's very awkward, and the discussion is also very hard. Physically is always better. Discussing the
Physically.
discussing the assignment physically is always better, because like Sarah said, during the virtual discussion, there will always be a moment of
Moment of awkwardness.
silence, awkwardness,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's our human nature, because we can't really, we need, when we communicate, it's just not conversation. It's also about looking at opponent, and then look at their body language, and try to communicate with our overall, not just verbally but also physically. So yeah, it's really hard to have a good interaction in this virtual learning, in this whole virtual learning experience. So yeah, I totally agree and respect Mingje's point there. It's really challenging for us.
Yeah, like it's feel very alien. You like talking in front of the screen.
Yeah, because we didn't adapt
So
well,
you
right?
are, yeah. So the lack of like interaction also contributes to that.
Yeah, it's true. And people also say that maybe you can open your webcam. I mean, in my room, really open my webcam. I mean, I wouldn't say my room is totally messy, but there's something that I don't feel comfortable sharing to other people. So yeah, physically interaction is always better.
Belle, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to ask, like, do you have ever wondered, like, what is the purpose, like, you are studying so hard for? Like, what really motivates you to study to the point that you are experiencing these kind of stresses?
I think for me, academic stress is like a small part of stress for me. But eventually, I would think like the future is more kind of stressful for me. Like I would think, what should I do after I graduate? Like for now, what can I do to actually meet my requirement for
Expectation.
myself? Yeah, expectation for myself.
Mm,
Yeah.
what about you, Chun?
I think overall, I just want to get a good get a result that I expected, and hopefully there's a company out there will hire me, and I can I can live a normal life. Yeah, that's all. I generally I don't really have a lot of stress that much because personally I can cope with it well.
Yeah, same.
So I don't know about how other people will do, but for me, stress is like just a
Motivation tool
small
for you.
small motivation for me to to get better result that I want in every aspects. So yeah, I think
Yeah, getting
I
a good grade
didn't.
is not difficult for you lah, right?
No,
Your result is good.
no, I didn't mean that. No. What I mean is just not. I wouldn't actually feel as stressed as other people will talk about because I'm quite. Sometimes most of the
Some
time
people
I'm
will
quite
struggle with their
positively.
result. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people will struggle, and I totally understand that. But maybe I'm a little bit of an exception because I have a well, I can say that I will admit that I have more positively minded. I'm a more positively minded person. So for me, stress is just a small part of energy that motivates me to strive for better things. That's all. Yeah.
For me lah, because like among my just a story for me, like among my family, I'm like among the cousins, like I'm like the first one to ever like further education to study for further education until university. So like like among my mother side and father side family, I become like a role model for my cousins to like study better and getting better grades lah. And they always like maybe like tease for like give me make me like something like uh being like a role model, having like CGPA 4.0, something like that. Like every sem I can do that, but in reality, I'm not sure I can do that. So like this adds on for me like a negative kind of stress lah. Like I have
Yeah,
to
just because you don't
keep
want
the
to
pride.
disappoint them.
Yeah, don't want to disappoint my parents, like my family. So yeah, I just strive to have a better result, lah, even though I'm not exactly like that hardworking as compared to others, lah.
Yeah. I mean, the pressure is surely on you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you know what, just take everything normally. No need to fully stress yourself. I think things will get better along the way. So yeah, even though it's good to set a role model for other people, but also sometimes have to think a bit of yourself. Take set your own limitation, know your own limitation, know where you can do and what you can do and what you can't do. So yeah, that's the first thing that everyone should be to be in order to become a good role model. Yeah, I think you're doing I'm sure you're doing a good job right now.
Yeah, just
So
do
don't
your
worry.
best.
Right. Thanks for the consultation.
No problem.
The last question, like, what are the things that make you feel anxious or worried? Like,
Well, for me, I think right now, the biggest thing that actually concerns me is knowing that, not knowing that whether I can get a job or not in the future, because right now during the pandemic,
yeah,
we are having e-learning experience, and I'm not really sure that am I really how to say am I
Qualified.
really qualified? Yeah, am I really qualified for the standards right now? I'm not sure because well, physical learning always has most of the perks. You can learn even better. You can have more activities to do. So yeah, I'm not sure that whether I meet the requirements of the current companies that they want. Yeah, I'm sure this is the this is the biggest thing that actually makes me anxious sometimes or makes me worried.
Yeah, I agree with Chun there. I myself also worry about like whether I'm good enough to get a job to like survive and having like to sustain my own family. And if we are to talk about a very in hindsight, then it's definitely like the syllabus that are getting harder when we studying studying even higher during our university. Like now we are in first year, maybe the contents are manageable because I've heard from my friends from other universities they are studying like year 2, year 3, like their syllabus are getting like very harder and harder, and they need to juggle between like having to find internships and need to do assignments and tests. Yeah, that's what I worry about. So maybe like if I can manage all these things properly.
Yeah, but along the way, I just do what I can do right now. Just try to study as much as possible, gain as much knowledge as possible. That's what we can do right now. We can't actually do a lot about it.
so before I end this, do you have anything to tell your friends or words that can motivate them in a way now?
Like to all the high schoolers, to the young adults, like studying. I know right now like studying may be hard, but sometimes you don't be too hard on yourself because the road is still long. You're still young, and maybe you need to take some time to enjoy your youth is equally important for us.
Yeah. For you, what
Yeah,
should?
my point is actually similar to Mingje. So yeah, I think to all those young adults out there, I mean, things can get rough sometimes, but always bear in mind that not everything is permanent. Everything is temporary. Even the worst thing will, will go away. Even the sun, even the dawns will also, go away, and the sun will rise on us again. So yeah, about the stress during your academic time, I think it's best to have some companions, to talk about or share about all the stress that you have been through, you have experienced. It's good to have someone to talk about, to keep us company. Yeah. So I think that is all from me.
So before I end this, I'm taking this a little opportunity to say something personally to my friends. Like, thanks for supporting all the way and listen to our weekly podcast. Really thanks for everything because today is the last episode. So And do remember that you are loved and I care for you. So today I will end our podcast right now. Thanks for listening and thanks to our both guests today. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So all the
Thank you,
best in the
Ming, thank you.
future. Thanks for listening.
Thank you,
Bye.
Ming. Thank you, Belle.
Thank you.
And
Well,
thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Thanks for having me. It is I had a good time here. It's been a blast, and it's from the bottom of my heart. I just had a good time here. It's just a shame that we have to come to an end for this podcast.
Today is the last episode.
So yeah, for all those audience out there who are listening, thank you so much for supporting, and thank you for subscribing and liking our our YouTube channel. So catch you up next time, guys. Bye bye.
All right. All the best. Bye.